Alright YouTube, this is 2cent back with my 2 cents on Octopath Traveler, and today I just want to go over the 3 favorite units that I'm currently using on my team, kind of talk a little bit about them, and then I kind of want to hear from everybody else of who they've kind of started to favor out of the group of travelers that they've currently been able to acquire. Let's get into it. Alright, so you can see here this is kind of like my main team that I kind of run around with. I actually just recently adjusted this just a little bit. Viola, I had just recently got her, so she's still working on being leveled up, but I just replaced Theo on my team because I have Agnes now, and I've decided that I prefer her over him, and went ahead and made that switch so I could get a debuffer on my team. But let's talk about the first unit that I am basically kind of like in love with having on my team right now, and that is actually Adele. I know a lot of people talk that she's probably not the best even out of the collab characters, and certainly not the best unit out there, but I've really enjoyed having her. You can kind of see that I have got her kind of kitted out here, a little bit of stuff. I don't have any of the Awaken 4 accessories or anything like that, so I'm just kind of making do with what the game has given me. But let's just take a look at the kind of skills that I'm using here. I don't have her at A2, so I can only have 3 slots. But Dream Within a Dream is just a really nice ability to be able to just use whenever I just want to break some shields. And then on top of that, this light attack that's 2 times AoE. This has actually come into a lot of usefulness, especially when I have been farming for my sacred gear. All those little mobs in there when you're farming for it are all weak to light damage, and so basically I just go in, boost her up, and she is able to kill everything with her banish here. So that usefulness has just made me kind of keep coming back to her and wanting to have her on all my teams. And on top of that, After Image hits like a truck, especially at that max boost where you guarantee the crit, and I've just really enjoyed having this unit. So if anybody else out there like has Adele and you've been like utilizing her, let me know what you kind of think compared to the rest of your team. But I'm definitely happy with being able to have picked her up. I know she was a very controversial unit because of the paid step up there. Of course, I never pay money for the game, at least right now anyway. So it didn't matter to me. I think I got pretty lucky and got her within just a few polls. So definitely my number one kind of favorite character right now. That's why I have her out there leading my team. All right, let's move on to number 2 here, and that is actually going to be Fiore. I know that eventually Fiore's going to get kind of power crept and just going to have other warriors out there that are going to be able to kind of dish out more damage than her, but she's definitely one of the first units that I was able to pick up. Sophia was my starter, but Fiore wasn't too long after that, and I've just been really pleased with the amount of damage that she's been able to push out. And you can kind of see what I'm using here. I do have her at A2, so it filled, I got another slot, which I just go ahead and put Shadow Reaver in there just in case I need some dark every now and then, just to provide a little bit of usefulness. The one thing that I would say is nice for her is this kind of cripple and cut. That's a really nice potency kind of hit ability on top of that 20% physical defense down. So this is going to be great, being able to pair that over with Viola now. We get that kind of max debuff down. I'm excited for that now that I can pair these two together. But she's been great to kind of help enable my other units, especially my Adele when she's using her After Image ability there. And I've just been very pleased. One thing I'd like to see from Fiore, I would have liked to see better, at least like some elemental shield break. She's not doing much damage anyway, but if they're not weak to sword, she gets relegated to just this physical defense down unit for my team. And that's fine. I mean, she can't have everything, especially as kind of like a day 1 unit, but I've been very pleased with her as well. So definitely, I would recommend if you have her. Granted, I know we are getting a lot of warriors out there. We have Corin, we have Tikulin, we have Eliza. I mean, there's just a lot of warrior units. So, you know, this is the one I chose to build since I had it early on, and I haven't been disappointed with her at all. Now, number 3, this is actually going to be kind of interesting because it would have been Teo or Theo, however you want to pronounce that, just because of how broken Region really is. However, now that I have Agnes, I've actually decided to prioritize using her over him, and that's just to give myself a nice little kind of usefulness in different ways, some more utility, I guess, is what I'm looking at here. So let's look at the skills here, and of course we have that region that only is the whole team when you max boost it, but with her having her A2, it allows me to bring another ability as well, and then as she's getting up there, she gets access to additional BP nodes, you know, that everybody gets in their skill trees, and so I can still turn 1 region and then just utilize her protect buff. I really like having that extra 15% defense. And then if I do need to throw another heal out in between, I have a cure that I can do that. So a lot of times I'll regen my front, and then as I'm switching units in and out, I can kind of help maintain them with a cure. And then I can kind of throw her into the back line and then reapply the regen once I need to. And I wondered earlier when we were kind of previewing this unit if it was going to be a little too tedious to be able to kind of keep that up. So far, she's worked well enough for me that I haven't ran into that issue. I do have Raise down here. I think I've maybe casted the ability once ever. So it's definitely one that could go, especially if you're needing some actual staff hitting abilities. She's got her 2 times AoE staff hit that you could pick up and use if you needed to there. But I just like this kind of versatility. I like being able to have a nice sort of region heal, a nice regular heal if I need one, and then be able to kind of protect my front line there, and then rise somebody from the dead. It's just, I really do like this unit. So that's been my kind of like 3 that I'm really kind of focusing on my team, and I'm going to give a little bit extra here at the end of who I think is my biggest letdown so far. The unit that I was kind of excited for, but I'm just having a really hard time kind of, you know, feeling the unit. So, and I know that some people are going to be like, oh, well, of course this you feel this way about this unit, but it's actually Scarecrow. I really thought I was going to really enjoy him and his kind of abilities here with that 4 times bow AoE, and then access to that wind 4 times random attack. Obviously a very good sort of shield breaking here, and then he's got like a lower end nuke with a lacerating arrow, but I've just find that he's not reaching the same sort of damage levels that you know, Adele and Fiore are reaching. And yeah, he's good at the kind of breaking there, but there's, you know, now we're getting some more options of some better breakers for bow, or at least the same amount of breaking. You know, he's still the AoE king for bow right now, but he's probably my biggest letdown unit, and I suspect that over time here, he's going to make his way off of my main stay team. Probably when I get him, you know, another unit up, you know, to kind of replace him. And then he'll just kind of be relegated to, hey, I need a bow unit, you know, or a few bow units, and you're the only ones I got. So, I don't know. Let me know down below what your kind of 3 like favorite units have kind of turned out to be, and then one that you thought you were going to really like that you're kind of like, I don't really know about it. So I'm certainly not saying that Scarecrow is the worst unit, but I'm just saying that, you know, he's been a little bit more of a letdown for me. Anyway, that's been my 2 cents.